Camera speed, A
As a
camera
celebrity,
speed.
it's just
10
so
You're doing great. You're doing great, man.
B speeding.
B mark.
Rolling. Quietly, please.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Set.
And action.
What?
Today we're taking a look behind the scenes of the latest short from our friends over at Maker Table, and if you have not seen Pizza Time, link in the notes below, so watch that before this, because spoilers. We've been friends with and have been working with Ryan Pauly, Grant Wakefield, and Daniel Routh over at Maker Table for several years now, and during that time, it's been pretty amazing to watch them grow as the incredibly talented filmmakers that they are, so I'm very excited to bring this look at how they put this great short film together. But before we do all that, I want to thank MusicBed for sponsoring this episode and hooking us up with all the great music that you're going to hear in today's episode, and most of our episodes recently, actually. They have thousands of songs from hundreds of different artists with a very wide variety of genres. It lets you find pretty much anything you're looking for and find it quickly. Their subscription plan also gives you unlimited access to all of that high quality music and still allows you to monetize. And you all know that I've been using MusicBed for years now, and they're by far one of my favorite places to get music for productions such as this. And you could try it out for yourself. You could get a 30-day free trial for a personal subscription through the link in the description below, or get 1 month free off of any new subscription with the code FilmRiotHolidays. So go do that and get that sweet, sweet music deliciousness. But now it's time for me to shut up and jump into the behind the scenes of Pizza Time.
Just know that it's going to be taken care of. So nobody panic, nobody worry about anything. It's going to be fine. Lizzy's coming in here.
A lead up.
Pictures up.
A camera speeds. B camera speeding.
10 kilo, take 1, comment mark.
Rolling.
Yep, you got it.
I'm set on A.
Jake,
Set on B.
ready?
Set.
Here we go. And action. I know what you're thinking. This looks bad. Real bad. And how did we even get here? Well, in order to answer that question, we have to go back to the beginning. Growing up, I was obsessed with action movies. I could spend entire weekends watching Die Hard, Speed, and Enter the Dragon on loop. But the action star that captured my attention the most was Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan movies are what inspired me to become a filmmaker in the first place. And ever since I saw my first movie of his, it was my dream to create fun action comedy films. So I'd always wanted to make an action movie, but I always had an excuse for why we shouldn't make one, whether that's not having the right budget, not having the right people. So after shooting The Tide is High, I came up with an idea of an action movie, which was about a pizza guy who kind of went to a wrong place at the wrong time.
I remember sitting down with Ryan and kind of saying, hey, you know, what next? What do you want to do next? What's the next project to look at? And Ryan kind of said, I really want to do an action movie and really would like to do action comedy.
So I came to Grant with this idea, and he liked it, but it wasn't fully fledged yet. But then I hit up my buddy Seth Worley, and we had about an hour Skype session, and a week after that I had a fully fledged short film script called Pizza Time. From there, Grant and I met with another producer, Joe, and some more producers, Andrew and Isaac Lewis. Of course, we had Daniel on board already to DP, and it wasn't until the point that we got Ben and Eric locked in that I realized this is actually happening. And at that point, we went to Kickstarter. Here are 5 tips for launching a successful Kickstarter. Tip number 1, treat your pitch video like a short film. Nobody wants to watch a pitch video where you're just talking to a camera in front of a backdrop. We wanted our pitch video to have the same style, tone, and look as Pizza Time itself. So we wrote a script and got a whole crew together to make this video.
Tip number 2, do your research. Go and look at other short films that were on Kickstarter that you really admired and see kind of the approach that they took. What was some of the messaging they used? What was some of the language they put on there?
Use those Kickstarter pages as a starting point for your own Kickstarter. Step 3, budget realistically. Spend time with the producer or collaborator to figure out exactly how much your film is going to cost to make. Be confident, but also be realistic on how much you can raise. Tip number 4, audience engagement.
Go and build out a content calendar, mapping out what pieces of content that you're going to release daily and weekly.
Send different kinds of media and content to your friends that they can share, so it's not just you sharing the same thing every day.
Tip number 5, say thank you. This short film would not have been funded if it wasn't for everyone backing this project. And for that, we all want to say thank you.
So thank you so much for giving to Pizza Time, because none of this would be possible without your help. That was 5 tips on how to launch a successful Kickstarter. Now, let's talk about some rehearsals.
I was on the runway coming into Dallas for the first rehearsal, and I had the script, and I'm reading through it, texting Ryan from the runway. I'm saying, what if we do this idea? Like, is there a like, what kind of gags? Like, what does the floor look like? Is there a coffee? Is there like, what's the coffee table? Where's it arranged? Is there stuff that we can knock down? What if I step on something like in Home Alone, you know? And we're just kind of like batting ideas back and forth. I'm on the runway, you know? By the time we actually meet in the car, we already have like half of the gags kind of figured out.
Laughing and talking about these ideas. First time meeting Eric in person, and we're already kind of collaborating.
And so then we go to the location, and then it's at that point where, you know, when you're constructing the action scene, you have to take all the script stuff and all the action stuff and then the skills of the performers and then fit it to the location.
Immediately there was like a sort of a flow we all had, an energy, and I think it was when we all really started talking, like Ryan sort of was like, let's walk through what we think the scene would be. And as we all started chiming in, it just kind of became this like team effort that I think none of us thought was really gonna happen. It just sort of, we just all immediately started working together.
And it's also really important, you know, not only that the director is there, but also the DP.
It was this really collaborative thing where we all kind of had a hand in the look and feel, and even the hitman, Eric and Ben, suggesting where the camera could be placed. I mean, those things were invaluable, especially with Eric being the stunt coordinator as well. Him being able to really speak to where the camera will look best for certain kicks or punches or throws or whatever. I think all that was just really invaluable.
Daniel was there just kind of soaking it all in and kind of giving his view on how, you know, where he would like lights placed, how he would like to shoot certain things, and that affects the choreography. And a lot of the time, you know, we'd come up with a gag, I'd come up with some kind of move, and I'd say, we go over here, and he says, yeah, but I don't really like going, like, can we stay on this side? I was like, oh, cool, then that changes the choreography, we'll stay on this side, like that. So you kind of write the action language in the location with the whole team, and then the action really feels like it lives there in that spot. It doesn't feel like something that's been pre-rehearsed too much and plugged in and just kind of shot in an open area. No, it's like these guys are really in the space, and we really tried to utilize as much space as we could.
Action. We actually set up, you know, a house in the gym so we could run through with 100% intensity the action that's happening in the film, and we shot previs of that as well. And so we got to walk through a rehearsal of the full film, and at the end of those 2 days, we got to look at that footage and feel full confidence going into the shoot with a week and a half left. It was like almost too good to be true that we had everything in place. We had a full rehearsal, we knew how to shoot it, and then we lost our location.
So with about 10 days till production, we embarked on an epic quest to find a new location and find ultimately what would be way better and prove to be just what we needed as a location for this project.
Luckily, within about a week of calling everyone we know, calling location scouts, calling the film commissions, hitting up random friends and real estate agents, one of our producers here at Maker Table, and actually the script supervisor of the film, Lindsey Detwiler, just hit us up and was like, hey, one of my friends has a cool house. We immediately saw it and knew that this is our location.
We got really excited because in the end it proved to be much better, and it proved to be really a blessing in disguise because it was an amazing location that worked out. One for the story, but then for the production as well.
It's pretty good. Because if you like catch it and slam it down on the counter. Yeah, so today we're doing kind of, we're finishing dressing the set, and then we're also doing rehearsals, which has been awesome. We had done rehearsals before in a different location, that fell through, and now actually getting into our current location and running through with Eric and Ben and Orlando, full cast. That's just been really cool.
Like that?
Yeah, we see him like his full body flying.
Today's April 1st, so we are. This is our last day before we start shooting. Tonight we're going to pre-light and hopefully get all of our rigging in. And then this thing just gives like a subtle bounce.
I knew that I wanted a kind of retro feel with a modern aesthetic, and Daniel heard that from me and totally ran with it.
We really tried to embrace the idea of that mixing. So we're using a digital camera, but we're using vintage Kawaii anamorphics from the 80s that are Japanese and vintage anamorphics mixed with an Arri Alexa Mini, which obviously is a modern digital camera. So I think even down to that nitty-gritty level of mixing these two things, it really informed a lot of what we were going for the look and feel.
Is it easier to just have them fall in the middle and kick that off?
I've built tables to be tables before, but I've never I'm not a stunt guy, so I've never like built breakaway furniture before. So I started off just building it like I would normally build it, and then got together with Eric once we were here on set and kind of like talked through what pieces we wanted to fly off and what pieces we want to preserve so that he could kind of ride the table down safely. And then I just basically scaled back the dowels that were holding the corners together. And it was just enough that it could hold the breakaway glass in place.
And when we put the glass on, the glass was about that thick. It was it was sugar plastic compound glass of some kind like that. And I knew that if I went forward through it, I had to protect my face, because I know that sometimes you hit it and these pieces will go up like that, and if you smack your head on that, you're gonna get messed up. And I just knew, and I couldn't turn. We had to go face first, and we put a pad underneath it, a little blue mat.
We were there, and Isaac kind of did his safety meeting with everyone, and then we rolled cameras, and then we kind of had Eric give us a cue for when he was ready. Waited a good 10-15 seconds till he pumped himself up, said a little prayer, and then he gave me the cue. I call action, and
the room was pretty quiet.
Literally every single person that was on set was behind the camera watching the stunt.
He's such a good actor that when he landed, I think that a lot of us thought, is he okay? Is he acting? Is that real, or is he actually just acting? I still don't know.
The costuming in Pizza Time, I wanted to be simple and stylistic. So we have the pizza guy, who I wanted to have this iconic red jacket with denim jeans and kind of a colorful red, yellow, and denim kind of look. And then we have the hitman, who is a much more monochrome, serious action movie look. And originally, I wanted to go with a suit for his costume, very reminiscent of John Wick, kind of as an homage to Keanu in that movie. But when I talked about the costuming to each character, everybody was cool with it. But Eric had brought up the point that the suit might be a little bit too on the nose of John Wick, and we didn't want to just totally rip off that character. But something that is very Hitman reminiscent is also a tracksuit. And that's something that we haven't seen in a while, is, a Russian kind of tracksuit look. I brought these ideas to Lizzy Farrel, who's our costume designer, and she was incredible in helping kind of collaborate and bring that vision to life with the actual costumes. She actually gave me a pair of shoes that the driver didn't wear, because I'm the same size as the driver. And so I'm still wearing those Nikes around town, playing b-ball with my friends, shooting threes, shooting J's in those shoes. So that's all thanks to Lizzy Farrel. With my films, I really just want to entertain people and give people a good time and bring people together in a filmmaking process that they're going to have a blast. They're going to come away from looking back with these great memories of creating a piece of art together. And that's kind of what I feel like we did with Pizza Time. To our cast and crew and all the Kickstarter backers that gave your money to help us make this film, I just want to say thank you. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life, and I hope to continue doing it and continue to make films that make people laugh and give people a good time. And I just thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this, and I hope you've enjoyed Pizza Time. We'll see you in the next film.
Big thanks to Maker Table for the look behind the scenes at making their latest film. And if you dug this BTS and want more of it, there is a link to a 40-minute version in the description below, and links to their site and social channels as well. So jump over and check out all their other fantastic work. And of course, you have that link for a free month of Music Bed, and we have our Christmas sale coming. Everything in our store is going to be up to 30% off from the 9th to the 24th. Links to all that in the notes below. But that's it, and until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.